Well, hello. Welcome to my channel. So this is Journal Mojo. I am Journal Mojo. And what I am doing today is basically setting up another planner. I'm going back to the Hobonichi Cousin. It is about to be July, and so I thought what I would do is take you along with the process and explain sort of what it is that I'm thinking about, what I like about the different planners that I have done so far, why I'm going back to this one. It is, if you've seen my other planner setups, very, very similar. I have a very specific way that I like my planners to be set up, so it's not really new in that aspect, but I thought that I would sort of talk it through this time. So let's go ahead and get started. So I picked up the Hobonichi Avec, the Hobonichi Cousin Avec. This is half a year. So normally they do a January through June and then a July through December. And this just happened to fall really evenly on when I've decided to switch planners again. So, but that being said, this is really nice. This sort of takes all of the things that I like about the Cousin and the things that I like about the Weeks and makes it a nice size. Because part of what I like so much about the Weeks is that it's not super chunky. It is, really small. It's really light. It's easy to use. That being said, it's too small for me. I've been in it for a month, and for what I do normally, it's just a little bit too tiny. I've been running out of space. I haven't had enough time or enough space in general to just do the things that I normally like to do with my planners. And I have really been missing the Weeks section of this. This is my favorite part of the Hobonichi, are the sort of vertical weekly layouts. And I realized that really what I do in here is bullet journaling. So I came from a bullet journal. I had one for 3 or 4 years, I think, very consistently. And I loved it a lot. But basically, this has become my bullet journal. It's got notes, it's got to-dos, it's got my events and all of that. This is really what I use. And so when I went back to the Weeks, I was using this back area as a little more traditional bullet journal. And it's nice, but I just really like having everything all in here. Something about this format works a little bit better. It's big enough so that I can put fun stickers down. I can do little drawings. It's just a lot easier to make mine. I can actually add in my schedule and see my full schedule for the day and for the week. And so this works a lot better for me. That being said, this thing is beefy. It is so thick and so heavy. It's like 600 pages. It's just really, really chunky. And carrying this thing around all day, every day is a lot in my bag. So the Cousin is where we're at, or the Avec, the Cousin Avec. So it's just really nice. It's a little teeny tiny mini version of the Cousin. So I've already gone ahead and put in June. I still have to set up for July. And I'm back into my little days, and it's just really nice. And so what I'm going to use this area back here for, instead of doing daily journaling, because I just can't really, I end up journaling in the weekly spread anyway, is basically using this for the larger things that I would do in a bullet journal. So taking notes on the different books that I'm reading, or if I've got days where I have a lot of things that need to get done, writing down the big massive to-do lists. And I think that's going to work a little bit better for me instead of sitting down to straight up journal. I mean, I can if I want to, but I'm just not going to worry about the days. And because it kind of stresses me out to have the actual date up here and then not to have the date kind of connected, I'm just going to cover it up with something. And I think that will work a lot better for me. So, or I'll finally figure out how to ignore it and it's not a big deal. But let's go ahead and get started. So I've got my first little title page. I have a cover coming, so I'm not going to do anything to this until I know what the cover looks like. I ordered one of the Midori paper covers, which should fit this, but we'll see. But I do want to put a little dude right here on my front. And I went through and separated out a bunch of things that I thought might work for different parts or that seasonally fit a little bit much. This is from this pack right here. It's a Cartoon Girl design. They're really nice little washi stickers. There's a huge variety in this, and this is one of my favorite sticker packs that I have purchased. There is something for everything. Every color pattern, every theme that I can think of. It's really nice. I really liked it a lot. I picked out this one. This little chick on her computer with a boba tea. I thought she would be really nice to just bloop. Or maybe a little bloop right there, because this is going to come through pretty strongly. Maybe a little bloop right there. I kind of just want her to be right there, so maybe I should just white that out. We'll see what it looks like, and then I'll make my decision. Oh, geez. You know what? I think it's going to be fine. Let's go ahead and... These bigger ones are a little bit difficult to get to lay flat. Oh, that actually looks pretty all right. Just a little something, something. Perfect. All right, I got one sticker in and had to go get a snack because I was so hungry. But while I was there, I watched this hysterical Rachel Makesy video where she edits herself into Pride and Prejudice, the 2005 version, and it was magical. I loved it. So this page, in my previous cousin, I had used it as sort of like my big overall tracker, and that just was not working for me. So instead, I'm going to take a page from what I did in the weeks, and I used that as my cycle tracker for that time of the month. And that's really helpful to be able to see these big trends in what's going on with it. So I'm basically going to do the same thing and expand it a little bit. I've got this little insert. It was from a children's book, a picture book about a leaf, and it gets stuck in a pile of poop. And I don't remember the title of this book, but I think I've mentioned it before that I was a librarian, and I was a children's librarian specifically, and so I used to cut these out when we would get the new books and their little dust jackets, which we don't keep on them at the library because they would be ruined in an instant. And so I would cut out the really cute pictures that I liked and enjoyed. So I thought this was appropriate. And so basically on this side, I've got a little symptom key of weird things that could be happening. So stuff like migraines, and I get this funky pain on my side. So my doctor wants me to track how frequently that's happening, panic attacks, how frequently I have trouble sleeping, all of that kind of stuff. So basically I am just going to pop this in. I think maybe right here, because it's not going to really be enough to go all the way through, and I don't want to block over anything here. And actually, I guess I'm going to put it like this, so that when I flip it out, it'll be open so I can see it. And we'll just line it right up to the bottom, right like so. So, for this, I've got a little bit of this dark blue floral washi tape, which is pretty cute. I like it. Trim it. I have done this before where I didn't trim this, and it makes it really problematic to fold open. It won't, the tape just gets all sorts of messed up. If I did that right, I should. Yeah, I got it. Nice. Okay. And so now, just a little bloop. Just like so. Done. Perfect. This I will use for planning stuff that comes in for 2022, so I can move it over into next year's, because it makes no sense to track my cycle into a part that I won't be in this planner. All right. I did a little bit of this already, but let me go in and... I will go through, and wherever I have got one, I was using this little area as my memory of the day, and that was fine, but I actually really like it on this big main page. So let me see, what do I have? This day I had an echocardiogram for my heart. I was having some really funky things happening, and it was really neat because it's sort of like an ultrasound. I guess it's not sort of, it is an ultrasound for your heart. And it was really fun to see what that looked like and to hear all the whooshing. Oh, that was janky little sad face. Oh no. Okay, that's fine. I guess in the course of doing all of this, my husband has been watching my videos and he noticed for the first time how I hold my pencil when I write, which is like this. Oh my god, something on my hand. I really sort of grip it. I write very, very hard. I press down very firmly. And so my hand actually cramps almost constantly while I'm writing. And we figured out that like you're actually technically supposed to hold your hand like this and write, but like I just cannot figure out how to make that work. My handwriting looks super weird. So I'm basically a step up from like a caveman, just and so now I get made fun of a lot for it, which is super fun, but I can't figure out how to write not like that, and it. If I can remember stuff that goes on these days, then I will probably go back in and backfill it a little bit just to get a little snapshot of it, because I really love looking back through my cousin from the first part of the year and seeing like a little snap of what was going on. I really enjoy this. This is about as much, this and what I do in my weekly pages is really about the extent of journaling that I can do. I just really struggle to sit down and, so it's like little notes, but I struggle a lot to just sit down and journal. That's something that is really tough. But you know, there's a lot of different ways to journal. There's a lot of different ways to write things down and remember the things that are going on and plan for the future and to plan for what you're currently doing. And so nothing is wrong. It's just, I think I finally had to accept that the way that I do things is just not that way. And that's okay. this month has really been sort of a getting back to something approaching more normal. So I went to a restaurant and ate indoors for the first time in well over a year. We had in-person D&D for the first time in over a year. It was just a lot of, I saw my siblings again, and it was just it was a good month. It was a good time to get back out there again. We also got approved for in-person races again. And I think I've mentioned this in my captions, but we have a racing company. We organize and put on 5K races, local 5K races. And so we've been basically at a standstill for more than a year. Our last race that we had in person was March of last year. And then, of course, everything, that was just not an option anymore. And so we actually just got approved by the county again to hold our races. So that is excellent. So starting in August, we'll have in-person 5K races, and those go every other weekend on Sundays. And that's just, I'm super excited to get back into it, to make some money. That will be great. So that's going to be a really exciting thing that we're going to start getting back into in a little bit here. And you may be able to hear in the background, that is my husband talking. I think he's talking to his dad in Puerto Rico. I'm not 100% sure. But we're thinking about trying to do Christmas out there, because I've never been to Puerto Rico during the holidays. I think usually we go during the summer. And so that would be really nice. We can visit with his family who he hasn't seen in a while, and spend the holidays, spend our anniversary out there. That would just be a really fun time. Okay, perfect. That is good for now. I'll tackle July in a little bit. All right. Now, at the end of the weeks, there is a turning the page section. I've decided I'm going to do my bookshelf and my quote page here. And here I am going to do my task tracker thing and get that situated right there before it launches into it. I'll tab these pages, I believe, and just have little tabs on the side so that I can find this a little bit easier, and then move into everything else. I do wish this came with little ribbons in it. It doesn't, which is such a pain in the butt. I don't know why the cousin doesn't have that, because there are so many different sections. It would be super helpful, but it does not. This is where we are at with it, so that's fine. I have already gone through and sort of just traced out where different things belong. So stylistically, I don't really know where I want this channel to go. It's something I really like doing, but I don't know. Do I want to do silent chill videos? Do I want to ramble in my planner videos? Do I want to sort of separate them and just do the quiet study with me and then talk in the rest of it? I don't know. I'm not really sure what to do about it, you know. I mean, I guess I'll figure it out eventually. Okay, so I've got my shelves in. They look beautiful. I have figured out where I am going to place my little stickers. This is the same mushroom set from the Hobonichi Weeks that I used, and I loved the spread. I thought it's just so pretty. It's so monotone. And maybe monotone isn't the right word. Monochromatic. I liked all the mushrooms and the neat little forest things. Unfortunately, I used basically all of them, so this is sort of what I could pull out of that pack that fit in with it and still looked nice and, did all of the things that I needed it to do. I guess the other thing is that because I am doing all of this at our office, it is, there's business going on. There are people moving around, there are people talking, taking smoke breaks, having impromptu meetings outside. Like there's just, sort of always something that is going on. People are on the phone or whatever. And it is sometimes quite difficult to have stuff that is quiet and really chill just because there's stuff going on. So if I want to do stuff like that, I need to come in on Saturday and Sunday, basically, when it's quiet and dead and a little bit more conducive to that type of thing, which is fine. That's not a problem. Right now, I am just trimming up these little dudes so that there is a little bit less of the kind of like milky white border. It makes them a little less obtrusive on the overall design, especially when I have it like sit on top of things or it's covering up a line or something like that. It's just a little way to do these technically make sense for how they're laid out? Not really. Things are like just kind of floating in space, but that is okay. Okay, that is the base of my design done. Now I am just going to go in and put in a couple little lines on some of them to create the illusion of spines. Okay. Beautiful. And now we're going to do this quilt page. We're going to do a little bit of fake cursive for it. Not fake cursive, fake calligraphy. Maybe I don't want to do fake calligraphy. I think I just want to leave it like that. Yeah. We are going to do that, and now we're going to take another one of these. I'm pretty sure there was one of like reading or taking notes or... This creates a little 2x1 space for each monthly task, which is nice because the one by one is just a little bit too small. I did decide to go ahead and do the full year just because some of this stuff I do need to be able to reference, and so I don't want to have to worry about which planner I've got on me. Like, let's say I have to go to the vet and they need to know some stuff about my dog's medication. Well, this way I've got my little log for it with me at all times. So it's a little bit more tedious, a little bit more effort, but a little bit more useful at the same time. You can see my mess up right there. So sad. Okay. Looking good, looking beautiful, except for that, which is fine. Although I have lost my whiteout again, so that's just gonna have to wait a minute. Beautiful. Okay. Oh, darn. I guess I should have done one of these as an index, but it's too late for that now. You know what? It's fine. I probably barely use that anyway. Perfect. Okay, for this one, that is the wrong color. Let's see here. That's the one that I'm looking for. Combo 942 is the tan sort of like base color that I use for my planners. I don't actually think this needs a title. I've got this Crayola Super Tips. It's just a nice sort of like warming medium brown. And that is going to be my shelf color. We're going to do a little heart guy. Be good if I peeled them up all the way properly. These are from a very cute little Etsy shop. Oh, adorable. Nice. Okay, I think we are all set up and ready to go, except for July, and that's fine. I'll do that in a minute. And then we are good to go. All right, so thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching. I hope that was interesting and informative, and I will see y'all in the next one.